Can you believe that DALC is 50 years old?
Wow. And yes, I can. I remember the 30th anniversary very well.
Congratulations, Dover Adult Learning Center. My name is Debbie Liskow, and I was the coordinator of volunteer tutors for 17 years.
So you have been a member of the DALC staff faculty for how long?
I was trying to figure it out. I think it's 40, this is my 41st year.
The board told me, when the board offered me the job, I interviewed with the staff. And afterwards, later, after I was hired, one of the staff people said to me, you know, we told the board that they should not hire a man. We're all women working here, and they hired you anyway. So I did my best from the beginning to try and follow Debbie's legacy of what she built as a community at DALC.
And you did. And we're now so fortunate to have Deanna with her creativity and her excellence in organization.
Well, that's another story. We had to reach out and find Deanna and convince her to apply.
I do. That was your doing, and we were very grateful.
Good. That was really good.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jake Collins, and I have been affiliated with and employed by Dover Adult Learning Center from 1997 until my retirement in 2020.
Okay. Well, there's many moments that are amazing here at DALC. Yeah. I mean, I've been here since 1998. Wow. Working with students, so I've met so many amazing people and have watched them progress through life and have great success stories.
Why don't you tell me about graduations?
I've been to many graduations, and they're always exciting.
The biggest challenge we met was the moving from the church to the McConnell Center. And the church had served us really well. The history of that is we got the church from the city for $1 because they sold it to us with a community development block grant. So that's how we were able to be in the church for so long. But then the McConnell Center came along, and that's the former Dover High School. And the reason that DALC was so important to the McConnell Center was that the deed of the land to the city required that there be an educational purpose to whatever was done on that land. And that was, they built the high school there. But then when the high school went away, they couldn't do much else with it, though they tried. And so DALC became the linchpin for creating the McConnell Center because we were the educational purpose that met the land grant, the original land grant.
One memory comes to mind. I had just matched a volunteer tutor with her student at the Dover Library. Things were great. I thought they clicked. So I was on my way back to Dover Adult Learning Center, and in the hallway, I ran into another pair, tutor and student, who I chatted with. Their sessions were going very well. So that was good. That kind of was a plus for the day. I couldn't go back into my office because I heard a tutor and a student at the table there. I didn't want to disturb them. And then I thought, up in the computer lab, there's a tutor who's a proctor, a volunteering their time so that the lab could be open. That was good. And then in a classroom down the hall, there was a tutor that volunteered regularly 2 times a week in an ESL class. And then finally, I looked over to the childcare room, and one of the tutors was in there. She wanted to volunteer with kids, not academic subjects. So just in that one moment, planned, I saw 6 or 7 tutors doing their thing, helping my students. And other places, the same time and all through the week, the tutors were working. So the volunteer tutor program was a darn good success, and that made my day.
A lot of fond memories working at Dover Adult Learning Center. Probably the one that kind of sticks out of my mind the most is almost having to deliver a baby. This was back at the Atkinson Street location, and it was a Saturday, so the center used to give the full GED exam on a Saturday, and we had, I don't know, maybe a dozen people that particular day, and I was the examiner, and we had another individual who was a proctor who actually ended up having to leave early, and so I was there towards the end of the test, and there was just a couple people left, and as luck would have it, the last person to still there at the center taking the last section of the exam was a young lady who was very, very pregnant, and she started to kind of feel uncomfortable, and informed me that she thought she might be having contractions, and the baby might be coming, and she finished up her exam the best she could, and was supposed to have a ride home with her uncle or something like that, and he couldn't get his car started or couldn't pick her up or whatever. And at that point it was getting late, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I might have to bring this young lady to the hospital, or perhaps if things go awry, I might be stuck here, having to assist her if she goes into active labor at the center. But all turned out well. She was actually able to get somebody to come and pick her up, and I'm not sure the outcome of the birth of her child, but that was a little bit of excitement.
Tell me a little bit about how mothers and dads with babies make it through a DALC experience.
Well, many of our students do have families. We offer childcare so that when they attend class, so that really helps. And we just offer support in other ways we can offer, like any other resources on childcare, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think DALC, when it began, if my recall is good, they started at some, housing development for low-income families, teaching parenting skills.
Yeah, that's true. And I think, one of the benefits of having childcare here is that just eliminates that barrier for that student to come to class.
Mm-hmm.
And they do learn some parenting skills if they need it from our childcare coordinators and workers, which is really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I originally was approached to say, would I consider teaching in the jail? At that time it was for the GED, which was before the high set. And I had wanted to start a cooking school. So I started cooking classes here at Dover Adult Learning Center. Well, at my house, but through Dover Adult Learning Center. And I still had, and that's how I got into the jail. So we bargained for that. So I always say, I got in the jail through the kitchen, and I stayed. The feeling you get when you can see someone who has just had a rough life and to see them turn their lives around. I'm not a Pollyanna. It doesn't happen all the time. I'd love to say, oh, it's always a success. It's not. But for every person who's able to get his education, it's one more door that's open for him or her.
One of the things I look forward to at graduation is that the students are asked to write an essay about why they feel that DALC has been helpful to them. And I was on the committee for many years that read those essays. And it was such fun to read them. And it was such fun to see the kids performing them on stage. So one year, one essay just stood out very strongly. And all three of us all agreed, number one. We don't know who them are, you know, they're all anonymous. But this one was number one for all of us. So we turned our results into Deanna, and she chuckled. And she said, well, I don't think this man will be able to come to graduation. And we said, why not? Why not? And she said, well, he's at the jail. He's written this in the jail, obviously in Manette's class. And it was a very good essay, and it was all about his changes in his life and the goals that he had. And we didn't want to give him first prize because there was a monetary reward for that. So Deanna arranged to have a board member go to the jail and present him with his award. I thought that was rather unique. And it was wonderful to see this young man really thinking about his future, even though he was sitting in jail. So we didn't get to hear him that year.
Right. Well, COVID interrupted a whole lot of DALC traditions that I was able to see. Can you talk about?
I mean, we still tried to do a culture celebration. So students come together and they bring something to represent their culture and share it with the group. So students are learning about the different cultures that we have here. I think we did try to do it over Zoom during COVID just to keep it going.
Great. Yeah.
So that's always a really fun
right
time.
And there's a Christmas one too, isn't there?
Yep. So we also do like a holiday get-together party. Santa comes for the children, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, people bring food. It's always a different variety of food from all over the world, which is really fun.
Right. I think I attended one where people were singing some Christmas carols in how many languages?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think we probably have about students from 50 different countries who attend, maybe more.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool for us.
I did get to sit beside a student's husband. She was Dawn Lee Chong, and she was probably one of the more well-known names in show business. And he was an engineer, and she had not finished high school. And she's always had felt defeated because she hadn't finished high school. Then she discovered DALC, and she came and took the classes necessary, and she got her diploma. And he was very proud of her, so that was kind of fun.
But actually, some of my fondest memories of being at DALC are around fundraising, because when we did fundraising, it always had to have the fun part. So remember we did those mini golf tournaments, and we used to earn $1,000, $2,000 for the budget on that mini golf tournament. We did that. And then we were critical in helping get started Red's Run for a Better Community. And that's been a big community event now for all these years. And I think we should be very proud of what we did with that. And then we had to raise money to move to the McConnell Center. And there was hesitancy on the board, I remember. People thought, well, we can't do this. And we raised $100,000, 50 to renovate the McConnell Center and 50 to have a reserve fund for the organization.
Good work on all of our parts. It's been interesting to see that Dover and the families in Dover who have supported the DALC organization so fully all these years. And we deliver opportunities for many people to gain skills and to raise their horizons for something different than what they were having.
That's
They're
right.
lucky.
And I guess it's not surprising that Dover Adult Learning Center is of Stratford County now, is
Yes.
50 years old. It's been a great organization.
Yes.
So,
it has.
Anne, what do you have to say to conclude this remark?
Well, I say that that's Old Hat, and our logo is now Old Hat.
That's right. We were proud of that logo when we created it, and we're proud of the new logo that DALC created to show their changing times.
So, excited to be part of Dover Adult for all those years. And it's just exciting to see all the new stuff that they offer and what Deanna has done with, the direction of the center. And they continue to evolve and meet the needs of the community and, have helped so many individuals over the years with learning English and, education and college credits and, moving themselves forward. And, at the end of the day, that's really something to be proud of. So, thank you, everybody. And, here's to another 50 years for Dover Adult.
Really exciting. How are you? So this proclamation, whereas Dover Adult Learning Center has continuously provided high-quality adult education since 1968, allowing community members to reach their full personal, educational, and career potential through education, training, and employment, strengthening New Hampshire's communities, workforce, and economy. And whereas DALC serves the most vulnerable populations, including people with disabilities, the unemployed, homeless, and immigrants, in a respectful, responsive, and welcoming environment, helping them overcome barriers to educational achievement and civic participation. And whereas DALC's multiple locations serve one of the largest adult literacy populations in the state. Adults in all cities and towns in Stratford County have access to adult education in DALC's 2 permanent locations in Dover and Rochester, the Stratford County Department of Corrections, and with volunteer tutors. And whereas over 8,000 people have completed high school with a diploma or equivalency at DALC. Many years, more people earn a high school equivalency here than anywhere else in the state of New Hampshire. And whereas English language learners from dozens of countries around the world who speak numerous different languages improve their ability to speak, read, and write English, earn U.S. citizenship, and or gain civic skills. And whereas adult graduates of DALC continue their education to prepare for careers in addition to reading, writing, and math, students learn digital literacy skills, gain college knowledge, and prepare a career plan. Many enter training, community college, or apprenticeships better prepared for success. And whereas DALC provides a safety net for teens who might otherwise drop out of high school, and school youth complete some or all their high school education with DALC under alternative learning plans written by their high schools. These students become part of the graduation rate instead of the dropout rate. And whereas over the past 50 years, DALC has worked tirelessly to build partnerships with the community, schools, and businesses, and continuously improve its programs and meets the needs of its constituents, and pledges to do so for the next 50 years. Nice. Now, therefore, I, Robert Carrier, the mayor of the city of Dover, New Hampshire, do hereby recognize Dover Adult Learning Center's 50th anniversary, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Dover to be affixed this 14th day of September 2022. Congratulations, and 50 years. 50 years. It's really, that's incredible.
And I have to say, we could not have done it without the support of the city of Dover
Right.
for all of those 50 years.
Well, I could tell you, I took a course way back when because of my computer skills within
All
reason.
right.
And I sat next to a kid, he could have been more than 17 years old. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. How do you do that? He had 4 screens going, he had this. I didn't know how to turn it on.
That's the
So-
beauty of adult ed.
It was very, it's impressive
Thank
what
you
you're
so
doing.
much.
Thank you.
Always want to help other people.
I have always wanted.
I have always want to help other people.
I have always wanted to help other people. Yeah, okay.
Hi, I'm Agnes. I came to the Dover Adult Learning Center to complete requirements for an entry to the nursing program at New Hampshire Technical College at Stratham, now called Great Bay Community College. I took chemistry, biology, and passed my DED exam. The classes helped me review in English and knowledge that I already had. I was able to apply to the nursing program successfully and obtain my degree. Today, I am an RN at the local hospital, and I am grateful for the opportunity that the center offered me.
Remember, we're all in this together, and we're still here for you.